right there.
Yeah, if it's going -4, +4, it's going to be like a 20-year cycle. Wait, he's talking 7 days now? What?
I'll explain in a second. I just want I just want you to see
Uh,
how it works, right? Back and forth, back and forth.
yeah, definitely understand. The 7, that's throwing me.
So the thing is, it will literally retract, right, all the way back 7 days, dude. Like in real time, dude. And I've tried to. I don't know how this is possible. Like I'm trying to understand what the sun is doing to make this possible. But either the sun is changing its elevation angle, or the field itself that the sun and the moon are riding in is expanding and contracting. Because I
What
don't
if
know how the hell it can actually
what
from
okay?
1 year to the next. It could
What if
change
this
7 increments.
what if the sun is not changing elevation angle, but the angle that the light you receive is changing?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm
Like,
like,
because if the sun's moving more distant, right, that the elevation angle is really equivalent to just like that there's an optimal sort of ray path, I guess, for the light transmission. You know what I mean? Like
something
an
has to,
optimal
yeah,
angle, like a beam
something has
angle.
to change in reality to affect the casting of the shadow of my sundial, the dial. Because unlike conventional sundials that only measure the hours of a day, mine actually was able to measure the years and the months. And in real time, there's literally a 7 day shift that occurs at the end of every 7 year cycle, dude. Or
Oh, okay. Is
it's
that
in.
the what? Okay, yeah, yeah. I get you.
So
That makes
that's what he's
sense.
showing it right here. But it's a
There's a 7-year cycle for something else too. I'm thinking like, is it Venus or the moon is in the same place position? Okay. Hey, can you pause it?
yeah.
What was he trying to say with the 7 days though? Like
So
you're saying that the
so if you count
over the course of a 7 day period that is going to switch the sky up or whatever
right,
at the end of a 7 year period, but where's the 7 year period like in its uh uh linear progression over an amount of years, like in
the
the seven
week,
year thing?
it's literally the perpetual week right now that we have Sunday through Saturday, Sunday through Saturday. That the Gregorian week
Okay,
that we have
so
today
is it
was passed down to us and bequeathed to us from ancient times.
I'm just saying he's saying 4 days and then that makes sense, and the shifting of 4 days like in the week, but it's it
So it's
yeah, I
hard.
don't fucking
It's hard.
understand this.
So if it's hard to see the
It's
lines here. We see the lines.
they are small, but yes.
Oh, it's all right, dude. But the 7 days is it's so you have the 7 days of the week, right? This calendar begins on the fourth day of the week, right? Because that's
Okay.
allegedly how it started in the beginning of time. The sun and the moon were appointed on the fourth day of creation, and from that day you have like a benchmark, right, a reference point, and then every year the equinox will oscillate through the week, right? So it'll eventually you'll end up lapping yourself, right? So like the equinox will be on a Wednesday, then on a Thursday, then on a Friday, then on a Saturday, right? And then it actually will start on the following week. But when instead of going forth, right, to the following week, it goes back, dude. The equinox will end up going back, dude, and starting out on when it comes to the sundial, it's gonna contract, and then it'll start on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then it'll end up going starting on a Wednesday again. And then the equinox will start. That's a whole new cycle. It's a 7-year cycle, and you end up back on Wednesday again. I don't know if that made any sense to you, but I'm just gonna finish playing. I mean, it's almost done. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I just want to play this part. Now he's getting into the complexities of it, but it's just the way that it moves, dude, is phenomenal. Um, and this has already been demonstrated in real time. It's not arbitrary. He didn't just like come up with it.
Well, it's I guess it for me it's just like understanding like where this like overlays into like the Fibonacci stuff, into the wheel stuff, and
Dude, I would love for you to figure that out if you
it's
connect the
like
Fibonacci stuff into it,
it's
because I know
well
it's involved.
crazy because these are like two different configurations of interpretation. It's too many syllables. Snack. Um, the laying it out on like a radial way, like in a circle, is a different sort of analysis than like laying it linearly or to see the real numbers. You know, we're we're looking at like a truncated version in the one that Lightwater had. Um, and that would have like these 4-day kind of like um, setups. Basically, you require 4 digits to set up Fibonacci anyway. You need like the 0 1 or the 1 0 0 1 1 of it in order to like and then hit go. Basically, you need to set those 4 digits up, and then you need to start with 1 digit first, and then add three. Really, so that's an interesting thing because this is like well, we're looking at 12 hours, which is weird when you apply it to a circle because you're going to use quarters, and then you're going to split the quarters into thirds. We're looking at a overlay of geometry here. I know it's like simple shit that I'm talking about. This is just like how we lay up 12, but like there's no 12 you can make without like having these two-dimensional aspects of like 4 and 3 kind of overlapping. Like they need to be part of the game in order to make a 12. I know that that's stupid, but just in the internal geometry, we could start to like look at how this really relates to Fibonacci because Fibonacci is going to overlay in repeatable ways, like in 60. We can overlap that upon the 12 cycle. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're interrelatable because they're built in the same number sets. I think it's something to dig into. Like we don't have 60 hours in a day, but if we did, it would just mean that we have like 5 times the greater resolution of what we call an hour.
I have no doubt that the Fibonacci's involved in this. I don't know how to apply it, dude. I'm not that much of a brainiac when it comes to math.
Yeah, I'm not either. Failed algebra 1, failed geometry twice, failed algebra 2. Remember all the summer school stuff? I'm no
Yeah, yeah, we
math
talked
whiz.
about it.
It's strange to me that after all that stuff, I had such a blank slate of a mind that I just basically learned all this Fibonacci stuff. Like, so silly.
So, like, I have a sundial, dude, and it confirms the reckoning
If you
of this
like,
calendar, dude. I go out there and I'm like, damn, like it's right on point. This is crazy.
it's not just that too. It's like it's if you look at the form of what those numbers are, like there's a body of numbers. There's 4 columns of 15 numbers that go right. And when you look at Lightwater's thing, that there's zeros at those 4 points. That's where he's got lined up. I saw that as a punctuation too, but I just have it in 4 lines. Um, if you remove the zeros because they don't mean anything, let's say, and if you remove the doubles of all the rows because it's going to be 11, 77, 33, 90, 99, 33, whatever.
Mm.
To, if you remove like the one line of like 7, 3, 1, and 9, right? Like you have 52 numbers left, and 52 is relatable
Yeah,
to playing
boy.
cards, and playing cards are relatable to the weeks, and the weeks are, and there's four to start with, and we've got 4 seasons. So it's like the clock itself is already laid out in Fibonacci before you get to ever fucking making a clock. It's already there for you because numbers exist. It's
Yes,
crazy
dude.
as shit, dude.
And it shows the order. It's not chaotic, dude. It's all orderly, and it's about figuring it out, you know. And for the 52 weeks, the 13 weeks a quarter, 4 quarters, just like playing
Right.
cards, 13 suits.
And I was doing this from a musical perspective. Like I was like assigning these Fibonacci numbers to tones, and then I put the tones on the different cards because there's 4 lines of Fibonacci that each bust at 0 and 15 digits, but it leaves me those 13 internal numbers. So that's equivalent to a suit. And then I look at like the 4 suits. Like the ace is single one, the heart is two. It's got the 2 bumps. The three is the clubs, and the 4 is the diamonds. That represents 4 points. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? They're enumerated that way. These symbolically numbers. Do you see what I'm saying? The suits are
I meant
related to
four
numbers.
suits. Yeah, the 13 cards and 4 suits. Yeah, just like a Texas Hold'em, dude. It's crazy.
And yeah,
But where do the
this is
jokers come
absolutely.
in?
So I'm just saying, like you could pick any card out of the deck, and it could apply to a week to a year, right? If you use the system, right, 52 cards,
Yeah,
each one's a week in the month. So we know that the Jack of Clubs is some fucking week somewhere, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's how this calendar works. It's based off 364 days, 52 weeks, and 13 weeks a quarter, 4 quarters. But the way it breaks down, like how do you add? The thing is, like a solar year is 365 days plus a quarter, according to the Sidereal Reckoning, and that's what complicates things because depending on your paradigm, how you think the sun is moving or that the Earth is moving, it makes all the difference, dude. Because you won't notice this oscillation that I'm talking about, dude. It will be insignificant. It won't be like anything. Oh, there's nothing significant about it, but there is something very significant about it. I posted my sundial. This was the beginning of this month, dude. This was the equinox. This was the equinox, and it's the solar noon. Now, it didn't match up the equinox that they're saying because it was like the day after or a couple days late. I don't even know when it was, but so I can go out on the spring equinox and the vernal equinox, match up perfectly. Um, and the following year, it'll match up perfectly. The next following year will match up perfectly. And then when the calendar retracts, right back to where it started, even though it's 7 days, literally 7 days that it has to intercalate by itself, I'll go out that year and it'll still match up, dude. The shadow will still be on point, dude. How do you explain that? Even though it's been 7 whole days on the like in Gregorian days, 7 whole days, yet the shadow is exactly where it's supposed to be. If I didn't intercalate, the shadow would not be where it's supposed to be, dude. It wouldn't be on that spot that I show you right there. Because there's a specific marker on my sundial, fixed marker that shows the beginning of the year and the fall equinox. So it shows the beginning point and the middle point of the year. Doesn't have to necessarily be the equinox, but it won't be the equinox according to the heliocentric model. I'll tell you that. So either the sun is moving in a way that I don't, it's rising or lowering in its elevation to make that shadow elongate and contract, but yet still match up, still be at the equator on the equinox at a certain time according to the heliocentric reckoning, or the field itself is moving in and out a little bit causing this deviation in the shadow that's cyclical, quantifiable, predictable? I'm not sure.
Hello.